Welcome to your source for tips, tools, and support to help you be that mom that is tuned in and proactive for yourself, your family, and for the wild ride of raising kids in this digital age. Inspired by a mother's love with a relatable, real-life, proud to be that mom flair. This is the Be That Mom movement with your host, Dolly Denson.
Holy moly, check this out. If you are a mom that is looking to give your kiddo a phone, but you don't want to open up the world of the smartphone to them yet, check out the Pinwheel phone. The Pinwheel phone is the latest and greatest for dumb smartphones. It gives you absolute control over what they do and who they can contact, and will help them to develop healthy habits around using a phone. Check out Pinwheel at pinwheel.com. Use code BeThatMom10 for a discount. Hey, so I am coming to you today with a short and sweet episode, just a tiny little update here. If you hadn't noticed, I did not have an episode come out last week. Normally I have them come out once a week on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, but life got in the way for me and I had to put things with this podcast on a back burner briefly because my little brother passed away tragically in a freak accident. And so life was crazy for a little while there and couldn't sleep, couldn't focus, couldn't do anything. He did live in the same town as me, so his memorial service and everything was nearby, which meant that family from all over the nation, many of which I hadn't seen in decades, came together here in my hometown for us to celebrate my little brother's life. And so things have been crazy, and I did what I could, but I just could not get a podcast out to you today or last week. But I do want to tell you about some fun things that are coming down the pike that I think will be helpful for you and I hope you will utilize. I was asked by Screen Time Clinic. Nicole Rawson is, I hope I said her last name right, is a part of that. She asked me to be a part of this little symposium thing that they are putting together where they are bringing together the minds and the expertise of there's like 10 to 15 of us that are all kind of in this digital health, digital safety space, but all with different backgrounds. Like there are child therapists and there are moms like me that did it all the more difficult path, now trying to pay what they've learned forward out into the world in different ways, but all kinds of experts and backgrounds coming together. And we have put together a little symposium that you can partake in where it has different talks and resources for you to help you for children of all ages, not just like middle school or teenager, which I tend to talk about, but also talking about when your kid is younger and what things you give them for, digital interaction. And then as they get older, how to manage that, how to make it a part of your life where it is a healthy part of your life instead of a kind of out of control and, constantly being on damage control to try to figure out what to do next. So that is coming out. I believe it's at the beginning of September. And if you're listening to this later on, this is in 2021, but that is coming out. I do have a talk in there, and I will send it out through all of my channels on social media and through the podcast, and then also my email list and on my blog. So I hope you will check that out and be a part of that. The resources are amazing, and I think that no matter the age of your kiddo or kiddos, it can be a helpful resources. And even as your kids get older and then you go into the grandparent stage, and we have young kids that are being given phones and things as entertainment and all of that. They just offer a lot of resources for all aspects of this new realm of parenting that none of us can ignore. And if we do ignore it, then it is our child's development and future potential that is hindered. So my talk in there talks about how not being that mom or dad for our kid can hinder their future potential. So I have my daughter's puppy with me right now. So if you're hearing that background noise, she just walked into the room and no one else is home in the house. So go figure. I was able to get some of this done, but always some background noise, as I've mentioned in the past. So I have all of that coming down and I hope you'll partake in that. I will definitely mention it and have links and all of that when it is available for you to access. And then I also am working on a couple of podcast swaps and podcast interviews that I think will be helpful for you with, I think I mentioned this last time in my last episode, but with teachers and with people with different backgrounds so that you can kind of hear a different perspective and not always be hearing me talk about things. So I think I mentioned those before, but I do have those in the works. This past week, I was planning to set up getting all of those recorded because I had the week off from my nurse practitioner job. But instead of doing that, it was a week spent with family and saying goodbye to my little brother. So I just had to course correct with that in terms of that's where I was needed at the time. And so some of this has just been delayed. I've been a little bit frustrated with that just because every time I have plans out and I'm going to just get this stuff done, life gets in the way. But like I've talked about before, I always think that there are gifts available for everything that happens to us in our life if we're willing to see them and explore them. So it was an amazing thing to have family come together. I reconnected with family I hadn't seen in decades, and some of them in years past, weren't the best relationships, and we were able to rekindle that and, just come together in a place of love for my little brother in whatever capacity we've all known him. So I do think that there was a gift in that, and I'm very thankful for that. So like I've said before with the digital things, the same thing. And some of my family that came into town that we hadn't seen in a while in person recognized that things were different with the dynamics of my family. And like I am talking about and have talked about with, I think the digital things are a distraction and hinder our kids' development and their future potential in them discovering what it is that they are meant to do in life. Family recognized that we had made a change, and they recognized it in our kids and how mature they were and how, they did things during the day and all of that, especially my dad. He was the one that noticed it the most in my two younger kids. And so just lean into the struggles, lean into what it is that you're struggling with your kids, and just know that this is a part of your plan for whatever reason. It's a speed bump you're meant to go over for whatever reason. And when you can find that reason, then it makes it have meaning that doesn't have to be all bad. Just know that navigating it proactively with your family, with your kid, is the best path through it versus just ignoring it and not doing anything about it until it is exploding in your life, which is where I got to. So if you've gotten to that place, no judgment. It is what it is. Some of us took longer to figure it out and learn a way. And I do think that in the past, there just weren't the resources, or at least none that I was aware of, to help me on this. And thus why I am here today, and why there are so many other moms and people in different capacities that are coming out with things to help us with raising our kiddos. Okay, so I think that's about all I had to say today. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that wherever you are in the world, that you are safe and that you are able to do the things that you need to do for yourself and your family on a daily basis. If I can help you in any way with the digital things, please check out the resources that I have on my social media accounts and get on my email list. I have some resources on my website. If you go to dollydenson.com and go to the Tools and Resources tab, there are some free downloads there. There are some different things for you to connect with. And I do have my course that I've talked about forever, it seems. I do have that almost complete, and that was something I was supposed to complete this past week as well. I have pretty much everything done. I just need to get some recordings done for it, and then get it put out into the world. So that's coming, but every time I get really serious about getting it completed, life gets in the way. So to me, that means that it is something that is really needed, and for whatever reason, I keep getting blocked. And so I will push through that, as I always have, in order to get that out to you. So hope all is well in your world. Please connect with all the resources I have for you. And I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for continuing to tune in. And I promise I will bring more content and more amazing things to give you and have out there for you to navigate all this very soon. Okay? Thanks. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in. Being that mom isn't easy, but together we can be that mom strong. Don't forget to leave a review, connect on social, and join Dolly's free community. Till next time.
Hey friends, did you hear? There is an app that will transform the safety of your kid's smartphone and technology use. It is my favorite way to sleep easy at night and have peace of mind because it is monitoring my kids' activity online without me being in their business. It is the Bark app. And yes, bark like a dog, bark, bark, bark. It tells you when there's something that you need to be concerned about. Starting at a small fee each month, you can protect your whole family across all devices. Get connected with Bark today. Use code BeThatMom for 20% off your subscription for life and get a 7-day free trial to check it out.